Oh shit. Didn't even realize this was recording. So, hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Toya T. I haven't made a video in a while and I thought that I should start making videos because why not? And today's video is actually a takedown and a discussion of my natural hair journey. I don't think I've ever talked about this on film, but so I'm gonna take out my my lock style. That's what I mean by a takedown, because this has been in for some time and I'd like to wash my hair maybe this weekend or maybe whatever. But so my natural hair journey, how did I start? My first perm. I got my first perm when I was 10 years old. It was like a rite of passage thing to go for my, what was it? To go into the 5th grade. So it was like, you know, you're going to a new grade, you're turning double digits. And so my mother finally agreed to allow me to get my hair permed. And before that, I had gotten, you know, my hair straightened before. And the first time I had gotten my hair straightened was for, well, that I can think of, was for my first communion. So that was 2nd grade. So I would have been 7. And that was the first time I'd gotten to see my hair straight. And, you know, of course, it was like really fluffy. And you know, my mother, what was it, my cousin? I think my cousin came at me with the hot iron, the hot comb, and she had put it on the stove and it was like, and, you know, that style didn't last long because, you know, once the humidity hit it, that's it. And I was one of those very active little girls, so I used to run around a lot. So that thing was puffy as hell. But I knew from there that I really wanted to have straight hair because, you know, my mother had straight hair. You know, you look up to your mother, you see everybody around you having straight hair. My grandmother had straight hair. You know, my aunts had straight hair. And it also didn't help that I went to predominantly white schools from kindergarten up. And so, you know, all my little friends around me had straight hair. I was one of the few black kids, you know, black females in my class. There was no black teachers in my school. Not even like faculty, staff, like nothing. Okay. And so I really just wanted to be like the other little girls around me that had long straight hair. And so when I turned 10, I was begging and finally my mother let me do it. And she took me to her hair salon. So she went to somebody who, you know, did hair out of her kitchen. She was a professional hairstylist, but she worked in a salon during the day, but then she would do people at her house, you know, on the side. And so I remember that at the time you had those the two well-known kitty perms were just for me. I want body and shine. I look this totally, oh my. Hair so soft, silky and free. I need something just for me. Which is was not what I got. I did not get just for me. I don't know why we didn't pick up just for me. I got PCJ. PC jamming. PC jumping. PCJ. No lie, relaxer, the brand that mothers trust. That's the one I had. And so she put it in my hair. And I always remember my mother talking about how, like, you know, like you shouldn't scratch your head because it's gonna burn. And you know, when you put the perm in, and I was like, you know, she put the PCJ in and it didn't work. It just didn't. I didn't feel no burning, no nothing. And she was like, oh shit, it didn't take. So what ended up happening is the same day. I don't think this is even good, like hair. She put in an adult perm in my hair as a 10-year-old after PCJ did not work, which should have been sign number 1 that shit was not meant to be. And so she put in Hawaiian Silky. I remember that. I don't know if that brand still exists. She put in Hawaiian Silky, and man, it was burning when she put it in. That's when I knew it worked. It was like, oh my gosh, my scalp is burning. My scalp is burning. Right? And so that was my first perm, and I had perms all up until I was in college. And when I was in college, I went to school in New York City. I went to Columbia University, for those who don't know. And I saw on campus, I'd see girls like wearing like kinky twists. And I was like, man, that look real cute. Let me get some kinky twists. So I got some kinky twists, and I did that for a year. That was my sophomore year, right? So I did that for an entire year, and pretty much just like grew out my perm, like most of my perm. And let me backtrack, because the reason why, I mean, besides the fact that I love the kinky twists that everybody was wearing, love their kinky twists. Besides that, when I was my freshman year, when I was there, I got introduced into the Dominican hair salons. Okay, Dominican hair salons. In Boston, in Dorchester, where I grew up, I would go to just regular black hair salons in my neighborhood. Very easy to get. But New York is known for the Dominican hair salons, and I was introduced to the Dominican hair salon. There was one right near the school on 110th near Amsterdam. And I went there. I think they were called Mirror or Mirror Image. Like, all the girls I asked, like, oh, where you going? They say, oh yeah, I go to Mirror Image. And I used to go there, and man, the Dominicans are known for making that hair straight. They're making them hair like real straight. Like, they'll perm your hair, right? So they'll do it, and then after, they will blow dry your hair so straight. Like, after you have gotten a perm in, you got your retouch up, they will take that blow dryer and like straight, man, silky straight. And so I was going there for that whole freshman year until I went there to get a trim, and I came out looking like a boy. I was like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, just cut. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cute. She cut my hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, she took out my hair. I feel like a boy. And so that was the last time I went there. And after that, I fell in love with the kinky twist, like I said, my sophomore year, and went to go get that done on 125th Street. Got the African ladies, went to an African braiding place on 125th Street, and paid like $100, that includes the hair and the service, to sit in a room with a whole bunch of other women getting their hair braided, like yanked, like. But it came out looking so nice. Came out kind of looking like this, and I just loved the look. So I kept it for a year, pretty much grew out my perm. And then by my junior year, right, I saw somebody with 2-strand twists or Nubian twists, like, you know, like the old school Lauryn Hill when she had those like 2-strand twists. And I was like, that is so beautiful. And so I decided I wanted to get that done. So I went to this salon up in Harlem. It was like past like 135th Street. I can't remember the name of it. But somebody told me to go. That's where they got theirs done. And I went, right? And so this is how I went natural. And this is like most things in my life. It was not planned. Okay? So I went to the salon to get those like Nubian twists or 2-strand twists that I thought was so cute. And when because I hadn't permed my hair in a long time, I had like a lot of growth, but like I still had like straight process ends. And so when the stylist was doing the 2-strand twist, she was like, do you want me to cut off your process ends? Because it's not, you know, it's coming out, your 2-strand twists are coming out looking weird, because, you know, it's like, you know, 2-strand twist up here and then it's like flat. And so she's like, do you want me to just cut off the process ends? And I said, yeah, go ahead. And that is how I went natural. Literally. That is how I went natural. And I left that salon, unlike when I went to the Dominican hair salon where that lady cut off all my hair. Oh my gosh. When I left that salon with the shorter hair that she cut off my ends, completely natural, I felt fly as fuck. I was just like, ah. And the guys were just like, hey, mommy. Hey, boo. And I was like, yeah. So that is how I went natural. I kept it, and I was natural, had a little fro, was experimenting with fros and 2-strand twists the rest of my college time, now including into when I went to grad school. So I went straight into grad school. And so when did I lock my hair? So how did I get here, right?